Okay, so Elizabeth Wardle wrote an essay. We call it an article just to keep clear, but article for Bad Ideas About Writing Textbook. And this one is titled You Can Learn to Write in General. And that is a bad idea. And so Elizabeth Wardle is refuting this idea. So here's why it's so important that you read this article. As a college freshman, you are in this particular composition class, and you're going to be asked to do certain assignments in this class, and you'll be asked to do assignments in other classes. Along the way, you will have different reasons to write, but every single one of those are going to be different situations. And so there's not a one-size-fits-all, okay? So she's saying you can't learn to write. There's no such thing as learning to write in general, okay? Look at this line right here. Writing is always in particular. So, what does she mean by that? Well, even when you write, or especially when you write for assignments, you have to consider your situation, audience, and purpose. Okay? And also, if you look at this down here at the bottom, any teacher is going to be different. All teachers are going to be different and have different expectations. Your boss is going to be different. Maybe your parent, if they're wanting you to do some sort of task, that expectation, that's going to be different. This is because context, audience, purpose, medium, history, and values of the community all impact what writing is and needs to be in each situation. So when we talk about community, that means the setting. You're going to write something differently on Facebook than you would for your English class. You're going to text differently than you would for your history class, but it's all still writing. So there's not a one-size-fits-all that will, teach you how to write. The key here is, though, that you can transfer the skills that you have. So if you look in this area here, it says, a better notion of how writing works is one that recognizes that after learning scribal skills, letters, basic grammatical constructions, everything a writer does is impacted by the situation in which she is writing, and thus she is going to have to learn again in each new situation. Yes, she can apply and repurpose some of what she already knows how to do, but she will have to learn new things and not expect that what she already knows about writing is easily applicable in new situations. So, there is this basic understanding of grammar, mechanics, spelling, punctuation, that sort of thing. Also, you do have this learning that you're basing future situations on. I mean, you can rely on knowledge already learned, but what Wardle is expressing here is that each situation is going to be different, and it's possible that you will struggle with it. So if you look on the last page of text here, if we can remember that there is no writing in general and no magic formula that will help us write well in all situations, we are more likely to be able to use or transfer or repurpose what we know effectively from prior writing situations. This is because we will be aware of the new context, on the lookout for examples, and willing to accept that struggle and practice are simply a part of learning to write in a new situation. So keep these things in mind, that yes, you should come into this class with a set skill. You should be able to spell and use proper grammar. However, it is possible that we are going to do activities here that you've never done before, and that's okay. This is where you use the growth mindset that we talked about with Dweck, and we learn. Perhaps you need to look at a lot of samples. Perhaps you need to reread the instructions several times. Whatever it takes, understand that you do have a new context, and you're going to have to learn to write for that context and that situation.